I'm back in my own car. I did like the rental car because it's always cool to have like a 2025 car. My car is now a fossil. When I got my car, it was only 3 years old. It was used, but it was only 3 years old. It had about 40,000 miles on it, which is not that much for 3 years. And it was almost like brand new, to be honest. It had one owner. I don't think the owner drove the car a lot. It had never been in an accident. It's a cool car. But it's a 10-year-old car now because I've had the car for 7 years. It still runs very smoothly, to be honest with you. That was the main reason I got it, because I was going from having a Volkswagen to now having a Honda Civic. And my Honda Civic gives me no problems. I've had very minimal repairs. Like, the repairs that I've had for this car are just regular maintenance, things that wear down from time to time. Hi, Marshall. So I'm on my way to a doctor's appointment, so I'm going to be here till I get there. But the thing that I was thinking of, and I actually meant to make a live on this earlier, but it's just been kind of a long, busy day, whatever. But what I was going to say is that I do my best in many scenarios to give people the best version of me that I have left. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Not a specific example, but like a generic example. What I mean by that is there are some days I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. There are some days when I feel down, I feel depressed, I feel whatever, anxiety, I feel whatever it is. There's just things going on with me. Then I have to wake up and force myself to get through work while having what's going on with me in my life affect me as not affect me as minimally as possible, but affect my job performance as minimally as possible, because I never want to be that person where things are going on so heavy where clients and coworkers are like, what's happening with this guy? He's not himself. And I feel like I've gotten really good at that for the most part, to where if I knew that my personal life was there was that much going on in my personal life, that I would just be like, you know what, I am going to pass on going to work. Like, I'm going to skip work for the day and regather myself and regroup and everything, get it together. So, but a better example is I go through my work day. I wake up, I go through my work day, and let's say work was just really tough and rough, and I got out of work, and then I'm like, I have some errands to run. I have to go pick up my laundry. I have to go to the bank. I have to go to buy myself some groceries or whatever. The way that I view it is everybody has their own sets of things going on. So I can recall this one time, and I've told this story on here once or twice, but I remember this one time. I really came off a really tough day at work. It was really tough. And at the end of the work day, I had a bunch of things to do, and my last stop was actually the grocery store. And when I got to the grocery store, I just went through, I picked up my items, threw them in the cart. Then I was going to the checkout. I was going to the self checkout because I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody, so I'm just going to check out these items myself, and then I'm going to go home. And then Um, I got to the self checkout and I saw somebody standing there and they were looking a little bit distraught. When I say somebody, I mean one of the people who works there. And in my mind, the people who work there are supposed to be, I'm not saying they're supposed to be inhuman, but they're really supposed to be the ones checking on you. Hi, Vicky. So I was really wanting to just be like, let me just check out my items and go. And then she said, how are you doing today? And my mistake, I'm like, I'm fine. How are you? She said, oh, I'm hanging. I said, what's that mean? I shouldn't have asked the follow-up question. But I did. I said, what's that mean? I'm hanging. She says, I'm hanging by a thread. So I was like, hanging by a thread. Is there any particular reason? And next thing you know, we're kind of engaging in a little bit of a conversation. I did cut it short, but I did muster up the energy to give her that conversation, which probably made her feel really a lot better. One other scenario, and then I'm probably gonna jump off of here. This week at work, right? To try to keep this as generic as possible, because I'm so leery now of giving work examples. But let's just say I got to work in the morning, right? And I have my morning routine when I get into the office, which is to go upstairs and make my coffee or tea or whatever in the morning, because I don't know what it is with me in offices. I don't care about that stuff at home. I don't have a coffee maker at home. I make tea once in a while at home, but it's still, none of those things are a big priority at home. But it's just like, when I go to work, I see those machines and I'm like, this is just a thing to do. So I go up every morning, or at least like 2 to 3 mornings a week, and I go and I make my beverage upstairs. And I walked in there one day this week, and I saw this person who I knew. It's not like I know them well, but I know them. Like, I don't know everybody in the building, but there's some people I kind of know, and there's some people I don't know at all, or I just know them by face. This is somebody I've at least had a few different conversations with, and that person was standing there looking distraught. So I could have just made my coffee and left, but I was just like, I don't know. I'm not. I have a hard time doing that, right? I don't always have a hard time doing that. But more often than not. So I was like, you look really upset. What happens? And long story short, that person had an item in the fridge that they keep in the fridge, and they were looking forward to partaking in. They were having a bad morning, and they were looking into partaking of that item that they kept in the fridge, and they labeled the item. Oh boy, y'all know how I feel about those things, because I remember I had a cheesecake that somebody ate out of a work fridge one time, and I wanted to hurt somebody. So I fully understood the feeling, right? And yeah, so I was just like, okay, so what happened with that? The person told me, like, okay, I put this in the fridge, I was expecting it, I labeled it, they tell you to label it, and it was thrown out. And I'm looking at all the other items here, and my item was thrown out, and several other items were not thrown out. They were on the same shelf as my item. So that makes me think, not only like the person said, if everything was thrown out, I would think that the cleaner just came in over the weekend and decided that everything here has to go. but the fact that it's just my one item that got thrown out makes me feel like this was actually a personal thing that was done to me by somebody. So, I mean, really, there's not much that you can really say there, but my whole point is somebody else might not have even asked. I asked, and I said, sorry that's happened to you. I hope it's not a personal thing that somebody did to you, but regardless of whether it is or it isn't, I know that that would be something that would piss me off. So and I've been there, so I understand, what's going on with you. And then we stood there in silence. I was really ready to go back down to my office, but I stood there in silence with this person for a good 5 minutes. Like, I wasn't saying anything, they weren't saying anything. Then I kind of just closed it off by being like, man, if you need a vent, anything like that, just, where I am, my extension, hit me up, grab me during a break or something. It is what it is. I know that we all have days like this, and I've had days like this. Went back downstairs. My day continued as normal because that didn't impact my day, really. It's not my items. It's not, I wasn't having a bad morning. But then the person told me later that they were glad that I happened to just pop in there when I did, because they were just gonna explode. So there's a very humanistic side of me, despite the fact that a lot of people outside of work don't experience that anymore, because, like I said, I don't have the bandwidth. Imagine doing that 8 hours a day, every single day. When your clients come in there, right? Especially when you work in a job where your clients are right there with you. It's not like my other job where I was calling them on the phone and I was doing telehealth sessions with them. Like, they're right in there. So they'll come in whatever mood that they're in and they feel, most of them, I'm not going to say 100%, but I am going to say like 75%. They don't give an F about what's going on with you. They're like, I'm sick, I have a mental illness, I have personal problems, I have needs. I don't care what's going on with you, because you're getting paid to help me with my problems, as if human beings have some kind of unlimited capacity to just take on other people's pain and problems and don't need any kind of, are you crazy? Don't need any kind of replenishment of any kind. And sometimes I sit there while they're complaining to me and all that, and I'm like, you know what? I wish I could be like, I just don't care right now. I'm here because I'm getting some money to be here. You know what I mean? So, but I hold that in. I used to clean the fridge out at work with warnings. I mean, that's fine, but that's not what happened. At my last job, not at my last job, but at my last office job, they would send out a group email, and then they would also put like a sign on the fridge. But in this particular case, it wasn't even any of that, because all the other items were still in the fridge, and that one person's item was not in the fridge, and it was not because it spoiled. So I actually tended to agree with her that it seemed like a personal, attack, whatever, for her thing to be thrown out. I felt bad for her for that, but at the same time, I know that if I'm upset, I'll give you an example. When I was at my last job, they used to have me driving all over the freaking state of New York. And the reimbursement checks that I would get for the gas were not even full reimbursement, nor would I get them in any kind of timely fashion. right? So I remember this one day I went to the gas station. I had $20 to my name. It was like a Monday, and my next paycheck was next Wednesday. So there was like 9 days that I was having to try to stretch this $20 in the gas tank. So I give the cashier in the gas station $20. I'm like $20 on pump, whatever it was. I start filling my gas, and at 10 it stops. That's happened to me before, so I'm assuming that it's a problem with the gas, with the machine. I never in a million years thought that I would give the guy $20 and then he would put 10 and try to tell me that I gave him $10. But that's exactly what happened. I went in there. I was like, excuse me, I just gave you $20 to go on pump 3, let's say, and it stopped at 10. And he was like, okay, pump 3, 20. Let me check that. Let me look at the receipt. He prints out a receipt. No, you gave me $10. Bro, when I tell you I had no money, I was down to my last $20 in cash. And I put that whole $20 in cash into the car just because I needed it to get to these home appointments that I needed to do for work because I had to get paid. So being in that kind of mental state, leaving my house already, and being in that kind of financial state, and then having this guy try to cheat me out of $10. The camera footage did prove it, so I did get my $10 eventually, but it didn't the 10 extra dollars that I was given back did nothing to like counteract the anger that I felt that we needed to check camera footage. Cause I'm not talking like I walked in there 30 minutes ago and gave him the $20. I'm talking I gave him the $20 and left. It took me about 2 minutes to pump the gas, and I walked back in, and he's acting like there's no possible way that I gave him 20 because his receipt says 10. Have a good evening, Marshall. So, anyways, my whole point of saying that whole story was that I called two people. I probably called more than two people, but there's two that I'm using for this example, right? I called one person and they said, I can't believe he would do that ish. Da 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 da. Tell me which gas station it is. I'm gonna drive over there right now, and I will cuss him out. This and that. And I'm like, this is not doing something to help me. Then I had another person that was like, hey, so I'm sorry that happened to you. Did you receive the $10 back? What happened with that? I said, yes, I did. So that person was level-headed and told me, hey, I know that you're pissed off. I know you're very pissed off, as I would be too. But you have to focus because you have clients to see. You don't want to have that anger like carry over into your sessions or into your driving. So just calm down for now, and then maybe on the back end, just that was actually what I needed because yes, it would have been fun for like a raise hell friend to come over and raise hell. I raised enough hell, to be honest with you, because I was at my wit's end, go on the other side of this cash register and just take the $10. Are you kidding me? But I didn't do that because I asked for the supervisor, and then the supervisor comes over. What seems to be the problem? I tell him what the problem is. He says, okay, we're going to review the camera footage, and if we find that you gave the $20, then we will reimburse you the 10. And I'm at that point, it's not even about at that point, it wasn't even about getting the 10 back. It was like, number one, I've been to this particular gas station hella times, right? It's located right by my house. So I go to that gas station frequently. I've seen the supervisor and the manager before. So I'm like, how are we even at a point where I'm telling you that I gave you that $20? I just gave it 5 minutes ago, and I'm sitting here you're sitting here reviewing tapes to determine if you're gonna give me the $10 back. So I was pacing up and down in that store like a crazy person, fuming that they were deciding whether I'm gonna get that money that I gave him or not. And honestly, pending on the results of that video review, I don't know what I was gonna do. I don't remember the last time in life I've ever been that angry, because I don't even get angry like that. So many people in my life are like, you're nicer than me, Mark. Like, yeah, things will agitate me, things will annoy me, but angry, like I want to fight someone, takes a lot to get me there, and they got me there. So, but yeah, sometimes that hype up friend that will validate your feelings and be like, I'm pissed with you. Sometimes that's cool, but sometimes you need that level-headed one that is going to be like, doing this is not going to benefit you in any kind of a way, so just walk away. I don't have control of my audio. I always find it funny that it's always the people who are on this channel regularly that are like, what's up with the audio? I'm like, you know that I've had this phone for 2 to 3 years, and it's past its shelf life. So it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But yeah, that's it. What time is it? I mean, I might keep the phone on when I'm getting my food, but the issue is, I don't know if the music is gonna play. I don't know if they're gonna have music in the place. Ooh, there's a lot of people in here today. It's Friday. iPhone 16 raffle. Huh? Dope. Thank you. Sweet.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Can I help?
I'll take a chicken marsala slice and a cheese slice.
Can I get a marsala and a regular to go? To go, please.
Suspense of the copyright. They don't have music playing in here, so Friday's a big day in here. I come here during the week and it's not like this. Yeah, I was in a 6-hour defensive driving course today, so I haven't eaten. I had like a banana this morning and I haven't eaten since. I have a race tomorrow. This is the worst race fuel, but it's all good. I guess I'm gonna burn it off. I got 4 miles to run tomorrow. I'm trying to run every single weekend from here on out. I love this pizza place. You'd think I'm a Ninja Turtle at this point. Dude, how are y'all weeks going? It is carbs. It's pizza. It's pizza with chicken on it, so it's definitely carbs. By the way, this is one of the few places left that has all these brick iron. You can see it. They cook the pizza on the fire. Oh, you meant working when I was at work. I mean, I guess so. I wouldn't necessarily call that working, but I was in the building. My job actually offers this cool benefit. They offer a lot of cool benefits, but one of them is that they give you like a paid day for someone to come in and do the defensive driving course, which saves you 10% on your car insurance. So you don't have to pay for the course, which I think is like, the course is like $60-$70 or something like that. They pay for it for you as a company, and they also, you don't have to work that day. They have like a conference room in the building. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too.
Want a plate?
Sure.
Good night.
Thank you. My fault. That was actually an accident. I don't know if y'all watch You on Netflix. Oh God, somebody smells like smoke. Cigarette smoke is one of my least favorite smells. You, the TV show on Netflix, it just came back. Well, it's in its final season, and it's a 10-episode final season. They released it all at once. I watched, I think, the first 3 episodes. They were good. I mean, I know that people usually think that if I don't watch all 10 episodes or the whole season, if the whole season drops and I don't watch them all at once, something is wrong or I don't like it that much. But it's just merely the fact that it only airs. I don't have the time on weekdays anymore, because when I was working from home, I could watch whatever I wanted as long as I scheduled my day a certain way. Like I would work really hard from, let's say, 9 to 12. And then from like 12 to 3, I could sit down and watch some more and then work for another hour. And then I'm off and I'm home. So then I could just jump right back into the show. But that means that now I'm only having the ability to binge like that if it's the weekend, particularly if it's like a Friday or a Saturday. Mainly Saturdays. Saturdays are my main binge days. So as much as I would have liked to watch all 10 episodes yesterday, 10 episodes, I started watching at 9 p.m. So 10 episodes that are like 45 minutes each, 48 minutes each, would have taken me to like 6 a.m. and then I would have slept for 2 hours. I was already sacrificing sleep. Supreme Pizza is my favorite. Throw everything on it. It's 5 seasons, so you would know probably by season, the first few episodes of season 1, whether this show is for you or not. Oh, is there a Knicks game on tonight or something? Looks like it. I always pass by these bars. I used to sit in the bar and watch games, but sometimes I like doing it in the crib better. All right. Last of Us. Anyways, hopping off in the next 2 to 3 minutes. But thanks everyone. Today charity is the cast. Today charity is the new cast. Unfortunately, Cass actually got here before you, so I can't say it's the cast today. By the way, Marshall's not even here anymore. You're late. You're saying bye to Marshall. Marshall said goodbye to me like 20 minutes ago, I thought. Maybe I'll be back.